Dope Discussions Podcast. Dope Discussions, Gator, Erica, woke discussions. Mob ties, how they rock and think they both was cousins. Gifting you with their words so you might know you something. Just go and look for them live, they do it every Sunday. Every Sunday.
And we gon' bring you that dope.
And we gon' bring you that dope. It's Gator Beat it, baby. Main state to state, baby, coast to coast. Like the fire, baby, spark to Joe.
And we gon' bring you that dope.
Come talk with Erica, man, talk with G. And all you gotta do is talk with me.
And we gon' bring you that dope. And we gon' bring you that dope. And we gon' bring you that dope. And we gon' bring you that dope.
Hello.
Hello, Roboto.
Is this thing on? Am I robotoing? Oh, am I robotoing?
Yes, you stuck.
Like
You stuck in the
Chuck?
matrix. Okay. Yeah, you're moving now.
Oh, can you hear me though?
I can hear you.
Okay. All right. Just had to make sure. I don't know what's going on. But I had a plane fly over and everything just went to hell.
Oh goodness. Well, we're gonna
Yeah.
make it do what it do, baby.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make it do what it do, baby. I was sitting here resetting and jumping back and forth and doing all kind of crazy stuff. So hopefully, if y'all can't hear my golden voice and I start getting all froze and stuff, just let me know.
Yes.
Y'all just let me know.
Yes. So welcome back, everybody, to another Dope Discussions. Welcome to the virtual congregation. How are you, Gator? Well, we know how you are.
Right. I am currently struggling with my audio, but I'll be all right. I'll be all right because you know why? I'm surrounded by all of y'all out there in the virtual congregation. Y'all just keep sending me y'all love and support. Keep sending me y'all love and support. I'm gonna send it right back out to you. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm gonna get you to try, see if you can leave out and come back in and see if that fixes it.
All right, that'll work.
All right, let me take him out of there. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to another Dope Discussions live. I am in the house solo right now. I'm gonna do this. She said he being attacked by Megatron. I don't know what it is, girl. I think he's in the Matrix. But we are going to get this show started. I am so excited about the guests that we have backstage, and the topic of discussion on today is going to be a good one. So good that I decided to stream live. We went exclusive to YouTube, but I decided to go ahead and expand it today for this conversation. So we are streaming live on YouTube, our Facebook page, and we're also on Twitter. We're trying our hand at Twitter to see if we can build up a following and a community over there on Black Twitter.
Yeah, Black Twitter is a mess. By the way, can you hear me a little bit better now?
It's a little bit better.
It's a little bit better?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
We
sure.
gon-
I'm being attacked by Megatron over here.
We're going to roll with it. We're going to roll with it. So before we get started into the topic, we're going to go ahead and bring out our special guests. Neither one of them are strangers to the Dope Discussions studio. We've had them here before. They're like family now. We've been building a community, and throughout the week, we all just go and support each other's separate platforms, and we just have a little meeting on everybody's show. And so these people feel like family. We get to congregate in the comments, but to have that face-to-face conversations back and forth, that's what I look forward to. Tashura, I have to put you, I have to hip you up onto what Black Twitter is.
Right. You will definitely have to learn about Black Twitter. That's a whole different monster there.
Yeah, you sound like one of them monsters on Transformers. Yes, you are really pixelated.
What is going on? So I might have to restart my whole modem again. That's crazy.
Oh, it's getting bad.
They don't want to hear the truth.
Let me go ahead and bring out our special guests so they can help us out. We got Miss Love Tucker, author, actress, and brand ambassador. Miss Love Tucker is back in the house with us. How you doing, girl?
I am well. I am glad to be in the studio and talking about one of my favorite topics, the other love.
Yes, love. So many people use your name in vain.
I sound that good in the shower. I don't know outside the shower, but you know.
Yes. So reintroduce yourself to the people. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you do, and tell them what's your platform.
Let me reintroduce myself. I am Love Tucker. I am the author of the book 2024. It is available on Amazon now, and it will soon be available on my website by spring. And I'm also working on a second book called Invisible, which is going to be very triggering for a lot of people. I'm just going to warn y'all now. I'm also an actress. Every once in a while, somebody still tricks me into modeling, and I am a brand ambassador for Prosperity Nation, primarily bringing financial literacy to the youth so that they can grow up and be millionaires.
Yeah, love it. Well, thank you for accepting my invitation and coming back to chill with us today. And we're going to get into this topic. We're going to bring up my brother from another mother, Mr. Derek Jones from the Relationship Gumbo podcast.
It's good to be back.
Glad
Feels
to
like
have
home.
you back. Yes, it is home. So reintroduce yourself to the viewers who have not seen you or heard from you before.
I forgot I had my Spike Lee glasses on. I forgot to switch them out, but I'm gonna work it anyway. I
like those.
My name is Derek Jones, and I am the host of the Relationship Gumbo podcast. And we go live every Wednesday night. We just have fun. We learn. We heal. And I'm the brand ambassador for myself. So that's all I got right now, man. I'm a life coach, a relationship coach. So I do a little bit of everything. So I'm excited about this topic.
Me too. And before let's see if we can get Gator in here. Let's see. Is he sounding a little better than he was before?
Mic test, 1 2 1 2. Am I
Sound-
still sounding?
No, sir.
Wow.
I was trying to give some words of affirmation, that he was doing a little better, but
yes, we had high hopes and we were saying all the right things.
Golly, what is going on? No.
Do you think it's your? We're gonna work with it. We're gonna work with it.
Can you try
we're gonna work with it.
Maybe the phone will work better.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to try because the internet sucks right now.
Yeah, try see if you can come in with your phone and maybe that'll improve your sound quality.
Yep. Let me see. I'll be right back.
Okay. All right, y'all. So we integrated a new segment into the show, a fun segment called Music Trivia, where we play a 5-second clip from a song, and then we're gonna have you, our guest, and the viewers in the audience guess the artist and guess the name of that song.
Do we win like a Tesla or something?
I want a Tesla. I don't have my license yet, but I do want a Tesla.
You do want a Tesla? We ain't got Tesla money around here. We might get you a Tonka truck or something.
I'll take that.
The beginning, yeah.
So everybody in the viewing audience, are y'all ready for the music trivia? Y'all better listen good because I'm only going to give you 5 seconds of this song. And really, in my mind, once you hear this clip, you should automatically know it. But that's just me because I love music. So we'll see how good y'all are. And this is the caveat. The first person who types the name of the song and the group in the chat, we're going to send you a cash app today.
Ooh.
Guess y'all can't get the cash app. We got to do it for the viewers. But I still want y'all to guess and see. I want to see if y'all my peoples, if y'all really my peoples, if y'all down with me with this music thing.
All right, let's go.
All right. 1, 2, 3. Here we go.
I already got it.
I knew Derek was gonna get it.
I already know who it is.
Hey,
I already know that song. That's on my playlist.
Let's see if anybody in the comments is gonna type it in first before Derek gives the answer. Let me give y'all just 30 seconds. See who can get it. Uh-oh.
Yep, she got it.
Y'all is my peoples.
Lord.
Oh, they both got it. Ursula got it too. I didn't
Ursula and Tashura got it.
Yeah.
So let me see. Okay, let me see. What was both of their comments came in at 6:43. So y'all both won. Yes. So y'all gonna have to send us y'all cash apps. Y'all gonna get a prize today. We didn't want to announce it ahead of time. We just wanted our loyal viewers to come in and get a chance to win some cash.
Cool.
Gator, you good?
Wait, we was giving away money? We was giving away money and I ain't know? Hold on.
Yeah, you missed it, bro.
Yep. Your bank account will be a little light today, sir.
Well, my bank account is always like, why y'all think I got 6 jobs?
Yeah, so that was I'm gonna play some more of that because that's my song right there before we get into the show.
It's got to be real. Girl, I could write a book on how you're making me feel. But if you take my ring,
Why
Did
Ursula
you know it?
play another song?
Oh, she
We
won't.
doing
Oh,
the
you
DJ
can't get
thing
no.
right now. Hold on.
Hey, Gator, are you on your Wi-Fi?
Listen to they crazy up in there. Are you on the Wi-Fi or are you on your?
I was not.
Huh? Look, we gotta laugh.
Poor Gator.
What the heck?
It's now.
So my Wi-Fi,
First
yeah.
time, he's like live for a second.
Right now, it seems like it's evening
It's better
out.
now.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's my Wi-Fi. Every time my phone tries to jump back on it, so I just disabled it so it won't try to jump back on.
We
Oh,
appreciate
okay.
you, sir.
Appreciate you for that.
Mhm.
Now,
Right.
now we in the house. We ready to get started. Okay, let me see what y'all talking about out there. Bro, you just need to move again.
Bruh. Look.
Tony
This has
Watts
been a
said,
challenge.
baby making music. Yes.
Oh yeah.
I was probably made off of that music, but I ain't make no babies off of it. Gator, what's in your cup?
Oh, you already know I got my coffee, my Death Wish coffee that I have before each and every show. It's like a tradition at this point.
Yes. All right, so we're about to get on into the topic of discussion tonight. We are going to be talking about the 5 love language and what does your love language say about you and your personality. So how I wanted to kick this off, I wanted to go around to each one of us. We're going to start with love because ladies first.
Plus, her name is Love too. So
Yeah, so it's
Right.
all about her today. So for love, I want all of us just a snapshot of what you know about love and her personality. Give me what you think her primary love language is. Gator, what do you think Love's primary love language is?
Hmm.
And
Good
don't take a
question.
whole long time to just a snapshot.
It's like just a snapshot. I will give it quality time.
You say quality time? What you say,
Yeah.
Derek?
I know what it's not. It's not gifts. It's definitely not gifts. Let me think. It's probably not touch either. It's on the list though, but it's not primary. I would say I'm gonna say quality time too. What the hell? I'm guessing, but I know it ain't them two.
I'm gonna guess acts of service.
That's a good guess.
It is a good guess. Definitely.
So tell us, Love, what is your primary love language?
Okay, see, what had happened was Tony Massey tried to call me out when I was on the Real Shop Talk about me saying that all 5 are my love language. I'm a Libra, I'm balanced in most things, and I really feel like there's 3 that are tied and then 2 others. So then Tony Watts told me, hey, you can take this test and it will tell you what your primary love language is.
Uh-huh.
Shut up, Tony. I see the test said I had 27%, 20%, 20%, 17%, and 17%. And I was like, what the farfin again?
What the heck?
27% was acts of service.
I figured that.
Makes sense.
It does
All
make
right.
sense, yeah.
So now we're gonna go to you, Gator. We are gonna try to guess what your primary love language is. So, Love, what do you think Gator's primary love language is?
Ooh. I think Gator's is probably quality time. I think it's probably
Okay.
quality time.
I'm
Gator
gonna
love
say
language is touch.
that's what I'm gonna say. Physical touch.
Most men are touch. I'm trying to think outside the box.
Well, let me be quiet because y'all didn't get to me yet.
So Gator, what is your primary love language?
So, oh man, so for sure cheating. So, my primary love language is words of affirmation, right?
Okay.
But physical touch comes in a little bit after that, and then acts of service is a little bit behind that. So, yeah.
Okay. All right. So let's go to D Jones. Gator, what do you think Derek's primary love language is?
Well, now I gotta say physical touch because he kind of gave it away.
He gave it away
a second ago.
So you say physical touch, Love. What you say?
Physical touch.
Actually, I think it's words of affirmation.
You think it's
I've
words
said
of
it on my
affirmation?
show many times.
I say physical touch.
Words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation is your
I
number
was
And
one.
listening.
And I'll tell you why. Unless we doing the whys later.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get into the whys later.
Okay, we'll wait.
All right. So who wants to start and guess what mine is?
Ooh, acts of service.
That's a good guess.
What you think, Gabe?
But I'm gonna follow up behind that one and say acts of service.
Yeah,
Yep.
I'm gonna say that too.
What? How y'all want to act like y'all know me? Yes, and I retook the test last night,
Ah,
and yeah, it was it.
Yep, and I know why too, but we talk about that later.
Yes. Okay. Ursula thought it was words of affirmation. It ain't. And I used to think at one point in my life that it was, but every time I've taken that test, words of affirmation was never at the top. All right. So what we're gonna start out with. Oh, so we did that part. So we're going to go through the 5 love languages, and I want to kind of get your opinion on that love language and how it fits into your personality and the importance of that particular love language. So the first one we're going to be talking about giving or receiving gifts.
yes.
You say yes?
The answer is yes.
Yes, you like gifts? You like giving and receiving or just receiving?
Yes. I'm a big giver, and I feel like it's a sign of love if you're paying attention to a person where, oh, you know what? I could see that you could use such and such, or I've heard you mention blah, blah, blah. And, let me just get it for you. No occasion, no nothing. And I want the same back. If I keep telling you I want a Tesla, I expect at some point.
I've been dropping
wow.
hints. I've been dropping hints all year, sir.
Then my
That
value-
escalated quickly. We talk about a Tesla.
I'd love some Cartier, but I'll take the car too. Somebody was trying to get me a car, and I was like, no, thank you. No, thank you. No, thank you, sir. You could drive me crazy instead.
Yes, indeed.
Wow.
So for you, Gator, giving and receiving gifts, how important is that for you?
Yeah, so this is the thing with me, right? So I love giving gifts. I am very much a giver. Something that Love said kind of, hit a point for me. I don't like to give gifts on occasions where they're expected. I don't like to give gifts on Valentine's Day or, all that. I like to do little things every day just to kind of, even if it's something as simple as, hey, I just bought you a rose, or I just bought you, that's something that I like to do. As far as receiving gifts goes, I love it. Don't get me wrong, but it's not like a make or break for me. It's nice to get a gift every once in a while, or let somebody know that they're thinking about you. I'm gonna let them know that they're thinking about me, but it's not something that I hinge on. I like to give without the expectation of getting back. So I do a lot of that. That's one of the things. I think that's one of my primary giving languages right there. Is literally giving.
Okay. So you like the giving part more than receiving?
Yes.
Can I ask Gator a follow-up to that?
Oh yeah.
Because so many givers give, right? Like I'm a giver, I give. But if you don't ever receive, do you start to at any point resent the fact that you've given so much and it's not being reciprocated in any way?
I don't really. Now we're talking about giving gifts.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I don't really have that. That resentment. or anything. I'm just not really big on that. Now, if I'm giving, affection or things like that, that's a completely different monster. I want that reciprocated. But if it's just, just giving gifts and things like that, no, I'm not. I don't need that back.
Okay. But Derek, what about you? Giving and receiving gifts. How big is that for you?
It's not.
It's not.
The receiving part of it, it can happen or not. The giving part, I do that just by nature of just who I am. Like what Love was saying, just paying attention to the person and kind of giving them things that you can identify that they may want or need. But receiving in a dysfunctional way, I just don't. It doesn't really faze me. But then when I get it, I'm appreciative. But it's not something that I'm sitting back like, I wonder if I'm gonna get a gift. I don't know if I don't have that chip. I don't have that in me. Yeah, I don't. It doesn't move me. That's probably the least of the 5 for me.
Okay. And so if somebody gives you like a thoughtful gift that you wasn't expecting, does it make you feel uncomfortable?
It doesn't make me feel uncomfortable, but the way I'm built, it's always like a surprise to me because I'm not looking for it, right? It's always like, oh, wow. Like, because I am such a giver and a little bit of what Love Tucker says also rings true. Like just in my life in general, I'm such a giver, like a selfless giver, but there's a price to pay for that. Like you still in your mind would like for someone to reciprocate, but I don't require it. So it's back there a little bit, but it's not enough for me to go crazy. Like, damn it, where's my gift? I gave them. I'm not that guy. I've met some folks like that, and I'm just like, I'm not that person. Like I've trained my introverted self to be self-sufficient with or without, and like I said, dysfunctionally so. So there's a little piece in the back that's like, it's there, but it's not a prominent part of me.
Yeah. For me, giving gifts or receiving gifts, it's like the bottom for me. Because usually the gifts I've received in the past have had nothing to do with what I wanted. It was what they thought I would like. And then when I received it, I was like more annoyed that you would buy me this. And now I gotta act like, I'm appreciative when I really, what made you buy me this?
Why do you act like that? Like I wouldn't do that. I would go, I don't like this.
Ouch.
You can take it back. Because then you set yourself up for disaster later, right? Like, okay, these behaviors of I'm gonna accept something or I'm gonna act like I like something when I actually had someone try to give me a gift one birthday and they were already just not doing what they were supposed to be doing, and they tried to give me something that was an article of clothing because they're like, oh, she's a fashion girl, she's gonna like clothing, and then realized immediately before I touched the box. And I was like, ooh, what's in this Nordstrom box? He was like, oh, never mind. Nope, I'm taking it back because it was plaid. And knows I don't like plaid. And I was like...
So he remembered that at the last minute, right before he was about to open it?
Oh, wow.
Like, secretary buy that? He was like, no, I picked it out myself, but I remembered that you don't like plaid. I was like, good call, sir. Because I sure would have been like...
Yeah. This is gonna be a horrible one.
Don't guys do that? Guys,
my engagement ring, the engagement ring that I got for my first marriage was ugly.
Oh.
Ouch.
But I went along
Damn.
with it. But I did not want that ring.
That's why you gotta go ring shopping.
Yeah. You gotta indiscreetly go ring shopping. Just passing by Kay or something like that. Hey, let's look at that girl. If we got married, I'd probably get you something like this. Or do you like something like that? Just get that thing out.
That might be a flag. That might be a flag. Like, you knew you wanted to marry me, but you ain't know what kind of ring I would want.
Yeah, you setting yourself up for a whole bunch of
Yeah.
snarling later. They gonna be like, man, and he like, what's wrong with you? It's this damn ring right here.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you're not doing that.
Right.
Exactly, because as soon as we get into it, and I ain't want your ugly ring anyway.
Yep.
Right. It's like that.
Erica
like,
going for
dang.
the gut punch.
Right, exactly. All I said is I ain't want no macaroni. Damn.
you see what the funk said down in the comments.
What he said?
Buy your own ring.
That's what we supposed to do, though. We supposed to like these new generations. What they do is they take their girl to the store. She picks out a couple of ring, fashions that she like, and then he goes back by himself.
Yeah.
And he buys it, so she doesn't know exactly which one he bought, but he knows what she likes.
Yeah, I think that takes a little bit of the surprise and the wonder out of it. But then again, like you say a lot, that's kind of the new generation. That's what they like to do. They want to make sure that they get it right. No, I can't hate that. Now I want to go back to something that Tashira said earlier in the comments, because it does kind of weigh on me. She said that once she sees someone taking,
right,
she's a giver until she sees them taking, then she stops it. I'm kind of like that to the point to where, I will give and give, but if I don't see it being appreciated, then I will kind of stop.
Right.
Because they get to a point, some people will just continue to just take and take and take, and it becomes something they're just accustomed to. So they expect you to just continue to just give and give, which is fine. But if they don't appreciate it and they just take it as normalized behavior, I want it to be, somewhat special. Hey, this is a token. This is an expression of my love. And if you continue to disregard that expression, then we got a little bit of a problem.
But see, that's why we're talking about love language. Maybe that's not that person's love language, is receiving gifts. And so what you're taking as rejection, they're probably also internally taking it as rejection. Like, why is he giving me gifts when I want time? Or why is he giving me gifts, when I just want him to go wash my car for me?
Right.
Yes. So let's go to the next one. Acts of service. Love, acts of service. What does acts of service communicate to you in a relationship?
It's so funny to me just because I think of acts of service in all of my relationships, right? Not just the intimate personal relationships, but like with my son, I want him to take out the garbage. Like, this is your job. If I got to do it, I'm like, oh. But it means that you're doing something, so I don't have to. And I think that's why you and I really kind of resonate with this one a lot, especially with experience, history, past, where, especially in a partnership, if we had to do a lion's share of the work and the heavy lifting, oh my gosh, it would be so nice to sit back, be super feminine, and sit in the space where, you're going to take care of that? Oh my gosh, thank you so much. I don't have to do that. You did it already? Oh my gosh, I'm paying you back later with some physical touch. I mean, there's so many ways that can manifest itself. And it's so important to show someone else, I think, that you are paying attention to them. Because then you're stressed. Oh, I see you're overwhelmed. All of those things. Acts of service.
Yes, I love that. Tashi, hey Tashi. Tashi says acts of services communicates that I'm being heard, and that expression shows me that you care to sometimes take the burden or worries away. Love that. What about you, Derek? What's acts of service? How does that rank in your love language, in your relationships? I think you're on mute.
How'd you get
Oh, I did that because I thought it would help the echoing. Acts of service is probably number 4 for the same reason that the other one was. So I'm an acts of service giver. Like I will do it, but it's like, and it's not because it's not something that I would appreciate. It's just I've conditioned myself, and I'm way better with it now. Alicia will tell you, I am such a doer that if you gave me an acts of service back, I'd be like, me? I deserve this. Like that's how, because I always want to make sure everybody getting stuff done, that I put me last on the plate. I'm learning how to not be that guy. So when somebody does something for me, I'm like, oh crap, it's my turn. What? So because of that, it doesn't rank high for me because I don't expect it. I don't even think about it. So if it happens again, just like the other one, it's like, oh, damn, thank you. But I'm not like, oh my God, I need the extra service for me to feel, no.
Yeah.
She really needs somebody to kill these spiders for her.
She talking about them spiders and them lizards.
That's all the time.
What about you, Gator? Acts of service. How does that rank for you?
So acts of service is another one that I'm big on as far as the giving of it. If I see something that needs to be done, I just go ahead and do it. Like, oh, you need your grass cut. Oh, you need, this light out. And I will go and just do those things because it's kind of an expression of how, I care about you. I care about you. I want to see everything taken care of. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to take care of my business. Oh, the dishes need to be washed. Let me go wash the dishes. All those types of things, something going on with the car. Let me go ahead and take care of the car for you. Let me go ahead and do. So that's really big for me. As far as like the reciprocation of it, this is one that I actually do like. I like for people to take an effort to acknowledge me or, hey, you need this done. Let me do this for you because I'm always running around. I'm constantly running. Y'all know that I got like 13 jobs right now. So, I'm always running. It's nice to have somebody think about me and do something to help me with my load a little bit. Because I'm sure as heck they'll try to help you with yours.
So as far as you guys, like when your wife or girlfriend cooks for you, or when she washes your clothes, that would be considered act of service. Is that big for you? Or is that, because I know in a lot of men's mind, that's just what she's supposed to do.
Nah, I appreciate the hell of it. I appreciate the hell out of it. But could I call it a love language? For me, it's not like a love language. It's a thank you, damn it. My stomach is full. I appreciate the hell out of you. Oh my God. Like, how can I return the favor? But a love, like to get in here, it's on the list. It's just not.
It's not priority.
Like, I don't. Thank you. I appreciate you. I'll return the favor. But if somebody was like, if you do this, Derek's going to love you more.
Nah.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I like when people do that. Like if you cook for me, even the littlest little things, I'm going to be really appreciative of. So yeah, that's just, to me, it's not an expected thing. So I don't expect you just to go and just wash the laundry or whatever. My biggest struggle is, as much as I love to give it and as much as I love to receive those acts of service, my biggest struggle is allowing my partner to do those things for me. And I can admit that because I am one of those people who is very much, like, oh, I'm gonna take charge of this. I'm gonna take care of this. I got this. Don't worry about this, babe. I got this. And sometimes I struggle in receiving those acts of service that I actually want to receive, and it could be seen possibly as, oh, well, that's not a love language of his. Yeah, it is. But me, myself, personally, is something I had to work on being able to receive.
I get that. I definitely get that.
Mhm.
So this is one big one for you guys. You said words of affirmation. So kind of explain that to us. Break it down. What does it do for you? How does it feed you? How does it fill up your love tank when you get those words of affirmation? Go with you, Derek.
Because of what I said earlier, right? I'm like the doer, the super doer, to make sure you're good, make sure everything's taken care of. I don't expect it back, but I would love to hear I appreciate you. That fills my tank up. I appreciate what you're doing for me. I love you for doing that. This means everything. Thank you so much. That is payment enough for me. I don't need you to give me back what I gave you. I don't need you to extra service me back. I'm good.
Right.
I did the thing. We're clean. Just let me know you appreciated it, and thank you. And now I'm full. That's my primary love. I need to know that the person who I am and who I'm going to bring to you just appreciate me. Let me know that you appreciate it, and that's the best gift you could ever give me.
Got it. What about you, Gator?
Yeah. So my big thing with words of affirmation is, I love to give words of affirmation too, but even more, I think, is the reception of it, because in every walk of life that I'm in, I have to be a leader. I have to be super strong. I have to be, in charge of everything. It feels good to have somebody build you up. When I'm with my partner, those are where I feel like I can kind of let my hair down and be, and be sensitive and be vulnerable. And in those vulnerable moments, it's important to hear, hey, babe, everything's good. You could do this, or, oh, I like how you did this. That was awesome. Just those little compliments just continue, like Derek was saying, it just fills your tank, and it allows you to put on that mask and everything. When you go back out, or that armor, when you go back out that next day, you got to deal with all these people on the job and all this kind of stuff. It re-energizes you when you get those words of affirmation from your partner.
I like what the font just said, that we are not used to it, possibly from childhood and lack of encouragement. Yeah. And that was going to be one of my questions that I was going to ask. Do you think that that's your love language because that's something that you didn't get from childhood and something that you feel like you had a deficit in, and you need that to be, filled?
For me, I would say yes. I would say absolutely yes. And I think that's why I used the word dysfunctionally earlier, because I think my overgiving is compensating for what I didn't get. So it's like I am giving, I'm doing, because I want to shore up the fact that you won't leave, maybe, or maybe something. I want to make sure that what I do secures you here. And so if I'm going to do more than like normal to kind of show you my love in that way, just tell me you appreciate it, and we good. So there's some of that in there though. I can't lie and say that it's not, but I think that I have kind of like a good balance. But I will, like Alicia will tell you, that extra service, I'll be up to 3 a.m. Like you said, the remote don't work. All right, I'm about to, and I will be, and she'll be like, Derek, it's 3 a.m. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna get it done. So I go hard.
Yeah, that's how I am. But I will say this, with me, it was something I learned because I did get it so much. My mom, my grandmother, and that's how I learned to express love. Is through, those things. And, you can do it, baby. You got this, you know what I'm saying? So that's just what I witnessed. So because that's what I witnessed, it's how it was the first love language that really even just made sense to me, is make sure you're letting someone know that you love them and you care and encourage them, because that's all I saw. If we ain't have nothing else to give, we had kind words to give.
Yeah, I heard none of that.
Right.
Yeah. And I think that's really important to know, that some people's love language is born from what they desired that they didn't get. And some people's love language is born from what was modeled for them and what they formulated as expressions of love. What about you, Love? What is words of affirmation? How does that rank on your scale?
That's on the second tier. 17% tied with 17%. You're gonna sound horribly egoic, but I get words of affirmation all the time. So it really isn't that big of a thing to me. But
yeah,
I do, funny enough, just in any interpersonal relationship, I want words of affirmation from my son. And I'm always encouraging him and saying things that I want him to go, oh, wow, thanks, Mom, for X, Y, and Z. Like, he just went to Anime NYC, right? This last 3-day weekend. And did he have the money? No. Did he need money for souvenirs, etc., food? He wants to hang out with his friends, all of that. And I'm like, all right, your birthday's around the corner, like 2 weeks. Want me to get you tickets? Oh, sure, thanks. And I'm like, what? Where's the hug? Where's the something, all of that. And it's funny because in that way, I kind of just like shoot it out to other people. I was doing a 5-mile walk today, and I kept looping around and kind of bumping up against the same guy. And he probably was like 50 something or so. And, I could tell he's looking at his phone to see like, okay, like how much I've walked, right? And we passed him by and it was just like, good morning. And then it was like, good afternoon, because we could hear the church bells going off. And then the third time I looked at him, I was like, you're doing a good job. And he was like, oh, thanks, right? I don't know him from a hole in the wall. But I know that sometimes you don't want to get outside. And I'm seeing you do this look like me, and I think you're doing a heck of a job, my man. So I think we do say kind things to strangers. Why can't we acknowledge the people that we have our most personal relationships with? Why can't we just say thank you or take a moment to go, you know what? Last week you did X, Y, and Z for me. I really appreciate that. And it's like, oh my gosh, thank you.
Right. It's that we take the people closest to us for granted.
Yep.
And we think that they're doing that because they want to, and it's just the normal thing to do. And a lot of times the people that are right in front of us can become invisible because they're so, they're familiar, it's normalized, they're always there, and we just start to take them for granted. And we have to be conscious of that and start giving, more acknowledgement. For me personally, words of affirmation aren't really big on my scale. And I think it's because I got burned out on words because I used to put so much weight on what people would tell me. And I would take that as the God honest truth. And then when the actions didn't follow up the words, words became empty to me. Yeah. And so now I lead with action. Like, I love what you said, but if that's not shown with action, then I don't really put too much weight in words no more.
Yeah.
And I've learned how to affirm myself now. So
yeah, Alicia be hooking me up with them words of affirmation. I'd be like, me? This what? I'm like, no, I need to lose a cut. No, babe, and I'd be like, me? So I'd be like, I love you too. Thank you. Oh my God. So yeah, she gets it.
That's good. She got your love language down packed. All right, let's see what we got in the comments. Let's see. We have to stop taking the close ones for granted. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
What the Funk said, that is why so many couples break up or cheat. Tashura says, yep, me too. Words mean nothing anymore. What else? Tashura said, can't tell me nothing I ain't already heard. No matter what you say, it's nothing but words. All right. Facts. You were saying something,
Mhm.
love?
I was just saying that the words need to affirm the action
Yeah.
Right.
than them just being nice florally words. It's like,
Yeah.
oh, that's nice. With your action, sir. With your action.
Now,
And that's very true.
words do come into play with me in one of the other love languages when we get into that one, but we're going to talk about that.
Uh-oh.
Right.
So we can go ahead and get into that one. Quality time. So this week I downloaded the audio book of the 5 love languages and I listened to it. And he broke down each love language, and within each love language he talked about your love dialect. I think that's how he put it. And so within the quality time, he said a lot of people in quality time, quality conversation falls into quality time. So when you're spending time having conversations with people, quality conversations, that is some people's love language. Other people in quality time, they just like being present with that person.
Mm-hmm.
Or other people, they like sharing activities with the person that they love, that type of stuff. Just being in the same space and sharing time with each other.
And it's,
so
it's important to know which one the person needs to, because I'll talk about that. I don't want to jump, but I'm going to talk about that in a minute.
Yes. So I want to go around the room for you all and start with love, quality time. How big is that for you?
Quality time is at 20%. That is really.
You're such a nerd.
I know Derek ain't talking about no nerd.
It takes one to know one, though.
I really, for real, am. It is important. It really is about conversation, though, for me. I don't necessarily have to be in your face with you all of the time. I do require some of that, because how else will we get to the physical touch? But being able to converse, like if you can't speak to me on the phone, but you text me a bunch of times, then those equal out, right? Like, okay, we're going to spend time with each other. We might not spend every day, but how many days? You got to quantify these things. So everybody needs to know what you can tolerate. Because some people want, they may think quality time and they go, we spoke every day. I'm like, that's quantity. That might not be quality.
Thank you.
Right.
There's a big difference in quantity and quality. What about you, Gator? Quality time.
Quality time is important because I have to have an opportunity to express my other love languages to you as well. So I gotta have that quality time. No, I think and the quality, the dialect, I think is really important too, because I can sit there with you and talk to you all night, and we can have quality conversation. That's to me is an amazing thing, So, but being present with somebody, just being able to be close with them, that's really important as well. It's my love languages are kind of weird because when I did test, it's literally like right there on like 4th place, but it's only 4th place by 1 point. So, I mean, quality time is big, especially if I can, speak with somebody and literally, talk to them all night. That to me is an amazing thing when I can sit down with someone and really have quality conversation with them. Right.
What about you, D. Jones?
Yeah, this one probably is. It's got to be number 3 based on what I said before, but it's important. It's important, and I'm gonna tell you the context based on what you said about the dialect and being present and all of that. It took me a long time to understand what it meant for who I was with, because especially when you have busy schedules and stuff like that, you think if y'all ate dinner together at the same time 3 times out of the week, that was quality time, even though you just ate together.
Right.
And then Friday would come, and I'd be like, I'm about to go hang out with my boys. And it's like, wait, we haven't spent any time together. And I'm like, I was here every day eating dinner with you. And it's like, no, that's not the same thing. And I was like, what? So I had to learn that there's a difference between being present and actually having the time being quality. And
because, sir, we both have to be here, and we both have to eat dinner.
Right.
So, you know, that's why I say it's important to understand which type of quality time is the most important for that person. Because some people will get off on the fact that you're just present, right? Some people want to have communication that's meaningful, and some people just want you to shut up and just be there. Some people just want to, you know, they just want to sit next to you on the couch, and they're like, I just needed this all day. So if you don't know which one it is, you could be doing the wrong thing. And a lot of people don't communicate that to you. They just hope you're gonna get it. And then you're like, I sat on the couch the whole week. We good, right? Like, no, I wanted to go out somewhere and chill with you and do. So you just got to, that's that communication thing.
Yeah, it's a big difference. I think my quality time is the like quality time and acts of service are like right there together. And quality time used to be for me just I can see you and I see you and we're in the same space and we're present with each other. I know where you are. But it has evolved into we need to be interacting, or we need to be having conversation, quality conversation, or we need to be creating memories together or experiencing things together. To me, that's what quality time means to me, because in the past it was ruled by my abandonment issues. I just need to know that you're here and that you're not going anywhere. As long as you're here, I'm good. But now just being here, that's just not good enough. We need to be interacting. I want to be exchanging ideas with you. I want to be getting to know you on a deeper level. I don't want to just be in the same space and we still like I can be in the same space with you for 5 years and still not know anything more about you than I know today.
Yep, that was my first marriage.
Right. And so that's not quality time. That's time wasted.
Right. And the crazy part about that is that when we say, you know, those quality conversations and things like that, and we're saying that we want to be with someone, I could be with someone and have the silliest conversation, but it'd be a quality conversation. You know, we just exchanging that silliness and getting to know each other and letting them be comfortable and relaxed and open up and just be, you know, naturally silly and whoever they are. That's fine. You know what's not quality time? If I'm sitting there with you at dinner, we both sitting here on our phone.
That's a big pet peeve of mine.
Yeah.
That's a big pet peeve of mine. Me and some girlfriends were out in a restaurant one night eating, and I saw this couple sitting across from each other, and both of them were in their phones. I didn't see them like exchange conversation at any time while we were in the restaurant. And we were sitting there, 3 women, our phones were put away in our purses, and we were having conversation with each other, because that's just the generation that we came from. I feel so disrespectful when I'm in the presence of someone and I have my phone out. I just don't feel right doing it.
You gotta take pictures of your food and all that. Like, you gotta make sure you get the drink. Make sure you put it in portrait mode. Gotta hook it up. Oh, I'm sorry, you are.
Now we've done that before. We take a picture of our food, and then the phones go away.
Yeah, that's everywhere USA now. It doesn't matter where you are. You know, you're gonna.
Yeah, I mean. Yeah, you see it so much now. It's almost to a point where, like, if I'm if I go somewhere and I see it, it's a sad thing. I never want to experience it, like ever, because that makes me feel some type of way. Like, oh, I'm not interesting enough to hold your attention the way you can't sit here and, you know, talk with me. And, you know, that I would take offense to that.
You should.
That's why I hear guys talking lately about if I take you out on a date and you post a picture of your food and I ain't nowhere in the picture, you gonna pay for your own dinner.
Look,
yes, indeed. This generation,
Yeah, they be doing
strategy.
those pictures of their plate talking about I'm dating myself, and the dude be sitting right there, but you can't see him in the frame.
Right.
Right.
I took myself out on a date yesterday, but I didn't post my food or the flowers I bought myself. I was like,
let me tell you something.
In the theater, it's amazing to be back in the theater, but please.
I might be different from other folks, but my food don't make it long enough for me to take a picture of it. I be hungry. I done been out like that before, and I'm eating, and I see everybody else taking pictures. I'm like, oops, I forgot.
It's got to be beautiful because I like to see other people's food, but I don't like to put a picture of food on Instagram anymore. I text my friends who don't cook, the male friends that don't cook. I be like, "Look, don't this look good?" They be like, "Shut up, love."
All right, so where are we now? We are on some people's favorite. Their favorite. That physical touch.
I guess we know who's going first on this one.
She did a little dance on that one, baby. So what you like about physical touch, love?
You know, it's funny. This was like the last one. It said 17%. I was like, really? I was like, I guess. I mean, I am a very touchy, feely, affectionate person. And to me, there was something that happened when, okay, don't judge me. So fiance number one, I was like 16, 17, right? People were like, that don't count. I was like, I had a ring and count. Something that he used to do, which I didn't realize was a conditioning. Every time he passed by me, he would touch me. It would be a small thing, right? Like, oh, he's walking by, you know, he just like, oh, you know, like, you know, touch the head or something. And I got to associate that with care. So ever since then, I've always been like, okay, I'm touching, you're sitting on the couch, I'm touching, I'm leaning on you, all of that. And I'm a little nasty, so I really like the other side.
Yes. Yes. Nasty girl. Nasty. What about you, Gator? Physical touch.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, it's me up and down because I am very touchy feely. I am very touchy feely. Like if you're in my presence and I care about you, you're my partner, then you go get touched. You know, you go because it's the way
how he said it.
He like you go get touched.
You go get touched. You know, but it's almost like I care through my fingertips in a way. You know, but I love receiving it. You know, one of the easiest ways, if I'm upset, it don't matter if I'm mad at the world, whatever, just come touch me. Put your arm around my shoulder or come lean on me. And it's just like, it just
calm the savage beast.
Yo, big head self, huh? You know, but I'm good.
She can get anything she want then, huh?
She can get anything she want. You know,
it
ain't gotta be nasty. It ain't gotta be, you know, all that. All it gotta be is a touch. You know, and you can get anything you want. You know, so Hey, that's really big. Like I said, it's my second place.
Yeah, Shannon, he like to be touched.
Mhm.
Yeah,
She be
yeah,
hugging,
yeah.
she'll hug you and whisper in your ear and be like, I want a Tesla.
All
Like,
right,
How
all
much
right.
that is? How much that is?
Yeah, how much there is?
that seventh job.
Yes.
Mhm.
What
Maybe it's
about
about
you,
worth
Derek?
another job.
It's up there. It's number. This would be number 2. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's up there. I'm a hug junkie. I like my hugs. I need a bunch of them. Like that's my jam right there. I need to. That's my thing. Like the touch. It's just another way of that affectionate thing. Again,
Mm-hmm.
here's another factoid of the day. This was something I did not get as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So I need that like OD on it. Like
Yeah.
Yeah.
so yeah, that's huge. That's huge in both directions. It needs to be there.
I like physical touch when I'm really comfortable with somebody.
Mm.
I can't keep my hands off of them, but it's a build up. Like it's got to be that
Right.
trust there for me to be like that, because I never did really like, PDA, public displays of affection. But when I'm really into somebody, I don't care where we at.
Mm.
You my man. I'ma touch you.
Mm.
Yes. So yeah, it's important. It's important.
A whole thing. I think it's like for good mental health, everybody needs like 4 hugs a day for a good, or maybe good physical health. But then, like for optimal health, 8 hugs a day. I'm like, oh, no wonder. I'm sorry. No.
I know, right? This pandemic has starved some folks.
Oh yeah, I think that's a good point too. Is that a lot of relationships, are based on, and not just the romantic relationships, but a lot of relationships are based on, being present with someone, that physical touch and everything. During the pandemic, you couldn't hug your dad, or you couldn't hug your grandmother, you couldn't, be around, and it really affected a lot of people, to the point to where, people would get into that whole depression behind not being able to, hug their loved ones. Just a simple hug goes a long way. Physical touch is powerful.
Yeah.
Actually,
So I had a few.
babies too.
Go ahead, love. Go ahead.
Sorry, I was like babies that don't get picked up
Yeah.
and physically held, they have a harder time in life later. So from jump,
Yeah.
That's why I hate when people say, "Don't pick him up too much. You're gonna spoil that baby." You can't spoil no baby.
good.
Goodness.
Yeah.
Hold
Like
that
I always
baby.
I always tell people, man, even with the whole coaching thing, I'm like, we're a communal people. We supposed to be,
Yeah.
and they're like, no, I ain't done for the rest of my life. I'm like, for the rest of your life. So you don't want no hugs, you don't want, and I'm like, solitary confinement is a punishment. Like, what are you doing?
And a lot of times people's health start to decline once they get in that mindset that they don't want to be connected to people no more. They don't last long. They don't live healthy lives either.
Yeah.
Right. And the weird thing about physical touch too is some people weaponize it to, they'll withhold it from you. If they, if they're upset with you or something like that, it's like, oh, well, I'm not giving you hugs no more. I'm not, being, expressive with you in that way. I'm not going to be intimate with you, and for somebody like me, who, that's pretty high on the list. That hurts. Just letting y'all know.
That all of them can be weaponized.
Yeah, it's true.
But also too, just a side note, like when I was dating, I met a lot of women who hated it. Like they were so traumatized that they wouldn't allow themselves to go into an affectionate mode or touchy-feely mode, because it was like, I don't want to be that vulnerable again. And like I think I met all of them. they was like, nah, these hugs, like you just had one 2 hours ago. What's this one for? And I'm like, I need these. And they're like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm disconnected from this. It blew my mind.
Wow. That's scary.
Yeah, you meet a lot of women like that actually, and depending on what trauma that they've been through, it could be trauma related. And it is hard dealing with someone like that because if that's one of your love languages, they could be offended by you expressing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I guess it really is important to learn someone's love language, but also pay attention to things that may that they seem uncomfortable with. Because I can sit there, like I said, I love to, I'm real touchy feely, and if I'm touching you, and I, like Derek said, I need my 4-5 hugs during the day, and on hug 2, you look like you about to fight. You might have a problem.
Yeah, but look at Tashura's last comment. That's important too.
Let's see.
Yeah.
Because that's how some molesters. Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. And they started with an innocent touch, and then it graduates into something terrible.
Yeah.
So I have a question for you, Derek. How does it work for an introvert who likes a lot of physical touch?
Because a lot of times those physical touches happen behind closed doors. Like you not. I was never afraid of PDA, even as an introvert. But a lot of times, a lot of that stuff doesn't happen, outwardly, like like around a bunch of people. So you do what you do. It's just both of y'all in the room. Right. So, or if you at a restaurant and I'm holding your hand and we on the same side of the table, can't nobody see that? We just chilling. But I was never really like that though. Like I always showed. I never really gave a damn about what people thought out in public. But I guess my introvert is set up a little different. I got I don't know what they call it, ambivert or whatever that thing is, where it's like a little
ambivert.
Yeah. Let extrovert just jump out every now and then, but then come back in.
Yeah.
So I had a few questions, but I think we're gonna try to cut it off in a minute. But I wanted to get into just a few of these questions. For one, I wanted to kind of talk about what happens when you are set in your love language. Your partner knows what your love language is. Y'all develop this routine, and then over time, your love language changes or your partner's change. How do you make those adjustments? Like, how do you communicate that that's what I used to like, but this is what I like now?
I mean, you want to be upfront about it, because people change over time. Things that I liked 10 years ago, I'm not a big fan of anymore. But you want to make sure that you're communicating with your partner and letting them know, hey, look, this is nice. I appreciate those flowers, but you know what I really would like? I would really like you to wash the car today. I mean, just be blunt. And well, I'm not saying be blunt, just be like, why are you giving me flowers? No, but I mean, just be able to honestly communicate with your partner about, how you're feeling about certain things, because they may not be aware. They may not be able to read minds, no matter how long you've been with somebody. That doesn't all of a sudden give them psychic abilities to where they can read your mind and know that you're changing and that you're viewing things differently. So communication is big.
Yeah, that's really what it is. It's having the ability to have open enough communication. And even in the beginning, like I tell people now, especially in our age range, or at least y'all's age range,
we're in the same age range. You always trying to act like you so old.
So if you know up front, in the middle, whenever, that human beings change over time, interests, things, type of things. If you know that up front and you are constantly checking in with each other and seeing where you at over time, because people change, then that person could say, because I am comfortable enough, and we haven't really had a lot of wars and stuff like that. As a woman, you could say, you know what, I don't really like flowers anymore. I don't know, I'm just a little different now. I really like going to the movies. And then because you are giving that person the love language that they require, you're doing it for them. So if it changes, it's just you doing something for them. So you have to be able to have that dialogue enough and not be like mortal enemies, to be like, yo, like this, I like this now. And they can be like, oh, really? I never realized that. But if you're checking in once every 4 years, it's gonna be like a shock. Like, what the heck? Like, when did this happen? Oh, you didn't notice that I wasn't, smiling when you gave me the flowers? And I'm like, what the hell? I was not supposed to know this.
Right.
That's big. That's important what you said. Checking in. You have to put your relationship on a check-in schedule.
Yeah.
I would say monthly.
Yeah.
Sit down with each other and talk about your needs, your wants, your desires, and are they being met, and has something changed, and what can I do better? What do you need now that you didn't need, last month or last week or whatever? Those check-ins, those are important. Yeah,
and Derek says something important too. As far as you have to pay attention to certain things. Like, oh, I used to smile when I gave you flowers. Now you're like, oh, that's nice. You can tell certain behavior changes. And it's like, you know what? Well, maybe that's not clicking those boxes like it used to. Be open to changing. If that's all I'm used to doing is getting you flowers and you change up, it may not be that you just don't like, me, or you just mad at me. It may just be that now you want candy, but just pay attention to those subtle little things. And like you said, Erica, check in with
and ask the question. Yeah, I noticed that you don't really get excited about the flowers no more. Do you still like flowers?
She liked them. It's the work husband gave them to her earlier in the day. So
don't go there. Don't go there. Don't do that. Don't do that, because I got see. And if you got two top love languages, the work husband do the acts of service, and then the husband at home, we do the quality time. So I'm fully fed.
I used to be known for that.
I'm not speaking that into nobody's existence.
Well, y'all know my story. I used to be known for that. Oh, let me pop these flowers, girl. Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, you told that story how you won temporarily, but then you lost.
Right.
What you think about it, love? When you're in a relationship and you become accustomed to expressing your love to your partner in one way, and then they need something different from you, how do you make those adjustments?
It's a kind of funny thing about having all of the love language be my love language.
So they can't go wrong with you.
Oh, they can, because if you don't give me enough of any of them, then I'm like, how come I'm not getting this? How come I'm not getting this?
Love gonna be like, it was 27% and you gave me 19.
Like, what is this? But I remember, like, I had to hold in the giggle really bad, because when Gator said, pay attention, I used to yell that at the ex-husband all the time. I was like, pay attention. Like, it got to be vicious, because I felt like he wasn't paying attention to anything. And it makes me think of, you do have to check in. Absolutely. You do have to confirm your suspicion about, these things are evolving, we're changing. Like, if somebody's love language could be, okay, part quality time, we go out to dinner, right? We go out to dinner every such and such. But if my partner has now made a lifestyle change and said that they want to lose 50 pounds, then perhaps going to those same restaurants is going to have an adverse effect. I'm not showing you love now. Now I'm sabotaging you because this is just a habit. And
Yes.
that's a life thing, right? Like we get into habits, we get into ruts, and we go, no, we got to shake this up. So as long as you keep working on the evolution of your relationship, like the day you got married, y'all aren't going to be the same people as in the marriage. Let's
Right.
keep evolving together, and you're probably going to stay together. You'll probably be happy.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's one of my pet peeves right there. When people be in a relationship for 10 years and they be like, they not the same person when I met them. I'm like, they not supposed to be.
They're not supposed to be. And if you
Right.
are, then what did you do with the last 10 years of your life?
Right.
None of your cells are even the same from that
Right.
But
Right.
you
I
just
can't
don't
stand
do
when people do that. Like they want you to be the same person you was in 1999.
Yeah.
Right.
I was
we're not
doing
saying
things I
change
shouldn't have been doing then. You wouldn't want me to
Right.
be that person today.
Right. I mean, as long as they're still a good person, you don't want them to switch and transform into Megatron. And
Nah.
you know, it's like you're not the same anymore. Of course I'm not. Like, no,
I
then
mean,
we got
you
a
should
problem.
hope that you chose a good egg that had a good
Right.
core, right?
Right.
Mm.
It's like, wait a minute, you a Trump supporter? Oh my gosh, right? Like you should probably know that.
No bueno, no bueno.
You should have known.
but you voted for Obama. What happened to you?
That's
Here's
why
a
it's
question.
important to ask those pertinent questions early, so you don't get those surprises 2 years later. Talking, oh, well, you never asked.
Whew.
Yeah.
So this is a question I wanted to ask y'all. Do y'all think couples who both have these same love languages will have a better chance of satisfying each other than two people who have opposite love languages? Because now you gotta learn theirs and also be in yours, opposed to two people who express and receive love in the same way. Do you think those two people would mesh better?
If it's physical touch, they will.
Well, shoot, they would never get out of bed.
I mean, and the problem is, no, but yeah, I really do think that, like for me, for example, my words of affirmation is something that I give and receive, but then at the same time, giving, just the action service, those things, I give it a lot, but it's not necessarily my language of receiving.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, you can balance the two. You can have someone who gives a lot and someone who actually their love language, is receiving that. They don't necessarily have to be the exact same love language. There can be some balance there. But like I said, with physical touch, most definitely those two would probably get along really, really well.
But I know a lot of people who have real trouble with not being able to express love in a different way than what they know love to be. So they love their partner the way they receive love, and then if their partner doesn't accept it in that way, they feel like they're not compatible with that person. And a lot of times they're not willing to try to learn a new way to love somebody else. They're stuck in, this is how I receive love. You should understand this is how I love, and why you can't accept how I love.
Yeah, see, I think that's a really stubborn person. Like I remember having a conversation with someone who we became like the best of friends, but we had been seeing each other for a hot minute. And one day we were walking in the park and it was just like, it's like you speaking French and I'm speaking English, and we just, like we agree on so much. It seems like we should just mesh. But it was about speaking the language that you're going to understand. If, like I potty trained my son in a week and a half because I knew if I give you M&Ms every time you go pee-pee in the potty, then you gonna pee in the potty. So if you are wanting a certain result from someone, then you give them what they want. It's like, okay, I go into the store, you give them money, you don't give them water and thank you for this Tesla. Like, that's not gonna work. You gotta give them money. You gotta give them what they want. It seems like an easy exchange to me. It just seems like how would it work in the reverse? They keep trying to give you what they want to give you. It's not gonna work. Like the guy that gave you that bad engagement ring. That ain't work out, did it?
Show didn't. That should have been a sign right there. He buys ugly rings, girl. You shouldn't marry him.
Oh, Lord. He ain't got good taste in rings.
Right. What you think about it, Derek?
I think so. The two different. I think we kind of talked about two different things. You said if the person shows it the same way that you do, would they work out better?
Yeah. Do you think a couple in that situation would have a better chance of, loving each other than someone who has two different love languages? Do you think they're better set up for success than the other couple?
I wouldn't necessarily say better, because if you had two that didn't have the same, but they were willing to kind of work with each other, I think the percentages probably would be very similar, because it ain't but, on a scale, there ain't but so much you can do. Like, you know what I mean? Like no matter which one it is, if I was giving you what you wanted and it was what I understood, that doesn't necessarily mean that if I'm a physical touch giver and you're a physical touch giver, that doesn't mean that they equal. Like, you know what I mean? Like yours could be up here, mine could be down here. So it's the same love language, but there's levels to it. So it's still a communication thing in the middle. So if I had two people that had two different ones, but they were really malleable, like they was like, okay, let's figure this out. They might rank higher on the scale of being able to work out. So
gotcha.
It's just like two people that say they freaky. You might scare the hell out of somebody.
They be lying.
You know what? They need to create a freak meter.
So
what some people be calling regular, I be like, no, that's above my pay grade.
Yeah. They be like, Erica has the safe word, and Erica's like, wait.
Pineapple. Pineapple. Yeah, you don't went above my pay grade. I'm out.
Yeah, I really have to gauge my freakiness with people, because I've been in too many situations where, I really got to know where your head is at before we decide to engage in anything. I get flashbacks of being handcuffed to a hotel bed. I don't need any of those types of drama. I don't need that type of trauma in my life no more.
I've seen chat conversations, and I was like, I'm out of my league right here. I guess I'm just boring. Cause what y'all talking about? No, that's not gonna be for me. No.
It's all right to be boring. It's all right to be boring.
I think I'm gonna stay boring. I'm gonna stay boring. I'm gonna just find me a boring man, and we're gonna be boring together.
The same language. See?
I didn't even know about. I heard people talking about vanilla, and I was like, "What's vanilla?" They was like, "That's boring sex, just regular sex."
Oh, I was like, vanilla. I was like, that's what we using now. I thought it was whipped cream. Or I look.
Yeah. All right, so we got time for one more question. How do you know if you're expressing your love language in a toxic way versus a healthy way?
I don't know if people who are doing it in a toxic way could even identify that it is.
Right.
I was like, after it's over, like
they look back and realize, Dang, I was toxic.
Right, right.
Because
Because
it's the same. It's the same pool of people who need to see a therapist, but they think they're fine.
Mm-hmm.
But like on the outside, somebody could say, you know, you might need to go talk to somebody, and they like, I'm good. Because it's just like, because y'all know I did the show on the toxic love languages, and it's like, you know, if your words of affirmation are only being done for you to get something in return, right? So it's like those type of things. So it's like the person that's doing it, a lot of people may do it consciously, but a lot of people don't even realize where it comes from. Like there's some other stuff going on, and they're just like, that's probably how they've been moving most of their life. So they think, you know, that it's kind of, you know, it's second, you know, it's part of their nature.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, one of them that I think would be a really big one with that is acts of service. Because you can put yourself in a position where you start doing too much for somebody, and then it's like, well, I did this for you, I did that for you, and you didn't, and you didn't reciprocate, you didn't return it. I done this for you, and you got the nerve to leave me. That type of stuff, you know,
I'm
it could
triggered.
definitely
I'm
be.
so triggered right now.
Oh yeah, I've been guilty of
Yeah.
that. I didn't know nothing about love languages. All I knew was if I do it for you, you supposed to do it back for me.
Right.
You know, if I surprise you for your birthday, and if I buy you a gift for your birthday, and then when my birthday comes around and I don't get nothing, you don't love me.
Right. Right. Or,
That's
you know, I'm
toxic.
going to
That's
give
facts.
this. Yeah. Oh, you say.
What you say,
What you
love?
say,
I
love?
said that's not toxic. That's just facts. Like I my birthday.
But I knew that I was doing things in my mind. I was trying to show him how I wanted to be loved, and so I would do things that's like, see, this is how I want to be loved. So this is when I do this for you, I'm giving you an example. I'm trying to show you how I want to be loved, and you're not getting it. You're not catching on.
Or you'll see
That's
somebody
what I agree
that
with
continues.
Peter was saying.
Yeah, or you'll see somebody who continues to just give and give and give, and they expect that to be basically the brick wall that keeps you in that relationship. Because
Mhm.
they're doing all these things for you, you should stay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And when you, I mean, it don't matter what I do, but yeah, I cheated, but I did all these things for you, and you know, so what are you gonna do? That's when it can really go toxic. Because I think, especially with a lot of men, that acts of service thing can be used almost, like you were saying earlier, Erica. It's one of those love languages that can be weaponized.
Mm-hmm.
You know, make people feel guilty for not, you know, doing as much as you're doing.
Right. Yeah, I guess the only easy way to answer it is if you are a toxic person, then you're going to express it in a toxic way.
Yeah.
But you don't really know you toxic when you toxic.
Right. Right.
Because I sure didn't
That's the
know.
problem. That and
Well-
the flip side to that is the person who is receiving the toxic behavior has to acknowledge the fact that it don't feel good and get the hell up out of there.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the key.
Or if you notice that what you're doing continuously is not getting you the results that you need, or it's always ending up with disappointment, and that's probably toxic.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
setting yourself up for disappointment. That's what I did a whole lot. All right, so we are at the end of our conversation. This has been another dope discussion with my
Yep.
boy Derek Jones and my girl Love Tucker. Before we get out of here, I want you guys to go ahead and close us out. Tell the viewers where they can find you, where they can connect with you, what you got coming up. Hold on, let me pull up what I want to get here. So we're going to start with Miss Love Tucker, the author of 2024.
Don't be triggered when you read 2024 because it is like I'm a prophet a little bit. 2024 is available on Amazon.com right now. My website will be up soon. So then you can buy autographed copies directly from me, or you can just DM me. I am on Facebook, Love Tucker. There is a Facebook page, 2024 the novel. IG primarily is love.theeelook. And, just hit your girl up there because, still single. Still.
You still single? No, say it
She
ain't
said
so.
the DMs are open.
The
She
DMs
yes,
are
she
open.
did.
I was like, I put a picture up, I think last week, and John tried to shame me. John was just like, don't try to act like your DMs are dry. I was like, my phone's dry, John.
Derek Jones from the Relationship Gumbo Podcast. Tell the people where they can find you, follow you, subscribe. What
So
you got coming up next?
Everything goes into one place, relationshipgumbo.info, the website. You can get to Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, especially subscribe to the YouTube and all that good stuff. I'm just every Wednesday, 8 p.m. The podcast is there. I'm working on some online courses to launch hopefully by January 1st. I want to have like a whole academy where you can go and get all the stuff. This week, I'm going to say that I'm going to take a break for one day.
Say what?
I know.
Wow.
I was thinking about it. I've been going live every Wednesday for 2 years between two different companies, and I have not taken one break.
Mm.
So I think I'm going to take
That's
a break
good.
this week. And then I'm going to come back the following week. And I think, what is that? That's the December 1st?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I have a guest coming on that week, and we're going to be talking about, and I think I did an Instagram live on this a little bit, but about multi-dating, dating multiple people, having a roster versus a rotation. And what's the difference?
Yeah, I saw
Yeah, so I'm going to have an actual show, a podcast about that on December 1st.
All right, and you and the guys from the Real Shop Talk, y'all got a show coming up
the Real
tomorrow.
Shop Talk, every Monday, 8 p.m. I can't forget that. This show this week is about
trending topics.
Oh yeah, see, look at you, trending topics. Because I do all the flyers, so I got like 3 or 4 of them already made up. But yeah, trending topics. We're gonna react to some videos and some posts that we've seen out there, and we just gonna laugh and talk about it, and maybe learn some things, maybe get triggered by some things. But yeah, we got some good things coming with that. And then the week after that, we're gonna be talking about anger, Black men and anger.
Woo! That should be a good one.
For that one.
Yeah, that one should be a good one.
So that's all I got.
We're gonna dispel the myth of the angry Black man. That's a big thing for me though, is the angry Black man, angry Black woman title, as if we not supposed to be angry. As if we don't have more to be angry for than anybody else.
Right.
When I want to be angry, I'm gonna go get me a shirt made, angry Black woman. I'm gonna change the game. Yes, I deserve to be angry.
That's definitely a conversation starter when you leave the house, though.
Oh, I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get stopped. What you angry about? Everything.
I need to have what are those things? The little it's not an airplane, but with the little cameras on it, and they could just float.
A drone.
Yeah,
Follow me around for a day.
Yeah, I need to follow you.
She walking through the store, walk by somebody white. What you say, Karen? What you say? Okay.
Talking extra loud.
Right.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in for another dope discussion. Tashura laughing at us.
Look.
This was an awesome conversation. Thank you guys for showing up for us. You always show up for us. We got a big family. I love you guys. Thank you so much. This was very dope. People on Facebook, I hope y'all shared this out. Twitter. The thing about streaming to Twitter is that you cannot interact with even if they're watching, you don't know if they're watching, and they can't even comment on the show. So I have to go over there after the show ends to see if anybody left any comments or anybody interacted. So I don't know how much longer we're gonna be streaming over there.
I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, but that's whack. Talk about
it.
I'm not a fan of Twitter.
I'm not thinking of. I don't think I'm gonna keep it going because they got to do better. If we can't interact with the people,
hurt, man. I be trying to follow the little retweet this tweet. I'm like, I can't.
Right.
Put it all in one
subtweet. They at you, and then when you at back, but you atting a whole bunch of people, and you're like, I wasn't talking to you.
Right.
So it's not
giving what it's supposed to give.
It's not right. My brain is not Twitter wired.
Twitter savvy.
Yeah, so we're about to get out of here. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in to another Dope Discussions. We will see y'all again next Sunday, same time and same place.
Later. Peace.